Great to see everyone enjoying the cupcakes. Tom Roberts. Okay, thank you everyone. Look, firstly, thanks to everyone for joining us for this morning tea. Thank you to our HR group that organised beautiful cupcakes with conscripted. I was asked to do them, but I ended up getting Dorothy. I think was a wise choice. So thank you, Dorothy, for doing those. I think sort of International Women's Day has been one of those things that's increasingly important in our society. I guess we just thought it was a good opportunity to celebrate women. I guess I thought we'd have some guest speakers, not being me, being Charlotte and Bridwana. And so with no further ado, I'll hand over.
Thanks, Tony. International Women's Day is a global day of celebration of the achievement of women across social, economic, cultural and political achievements. It's also a day that's a call to action for gender parity. Now, what's gender parity? Gender parity has been measured by the World Economic Forum across 4 main measures: economic participation and opportunity, educational attainment, health and survival, and political empowerment. In the 2017 Gender Gap Report, gender parity was reported to be over 200 years away, and that gap is widening. Now, in my opinion, 200 years is 200 years too long. The theme for this year's International Women's Day is Press for Progress. Now, this is a call to motivate and unite us as friends, as colleagues, and as a community to think, act, and to be gender inclusive. Now, this isn't just about one day, and it's not just about women. It's about the collective efforts of people everywhere who care about human rights. I've recently returned from a trip to Senegal in West Africa. 18 other women and myself from Australia went over there with the Business Chicks Leadership and Immersion Program in conjunction with the charity The Hunger Project. And to be part of that group, I fundraised over $10,000 for the Hunger Project. Now, so many of you in this room helped contribute to that fundraising effort, and I thank you all from the bottom of my heart for your generosity and contribution. As a group, my fellow business chicks and I raised over $212,000 for the Hunger Project.
Well done.
Now, the collective power of our efforts and the collective power of all the people who contributed truly makes a significant impact. Now, one of the principles of the Hunger Project is interconnectedness. That hunger and poverty are not the problems of just one country or another, but a global problem. Another one of their principles is gender equality. That essential to ending hunger and poverty is causing society-wide change towards gender equality. Now, I'd like to share with you a quote from Kofi Annan, the former Secretary General of the United Nations. "There is no tool for development more effective than the empowerment of women. No other policy is as likely to raise economic productivity or to reduce infant and maternal mortality. No other policy is as sure to improve nutrition and promote health, including the prevention of HIV/AIDS. No other policy is as powerful in increasing the chances of education of the next generation. And I would also venture that no policy is more important in preventing conflict or in achieving reconciliation after a conflict has ended. But whatever the very real benefits of investing in women, the most important fact remains. Women themselves have the right to live in dignity, in freedom from want, and freedom from fear." Now, the purpose of my trip to Senegal was to go over there and meet the local people who are working towards ending poverty and hunger in their own communities, and to see the Hunger Project's work in action. When I was over there, I was so moved by the commitment and the resilience of so many people there. The generosity and openness of everyone I met in Senegal as they welcomed us into their villages and shared with us the story of their lives made me truly connected to my brothers and sisters in Senegal. Seeing their leadership and hearing their stories of their lives is something I'll hold close to my heart forever. One woman in particular stood out for me. Her name is Kumba Jai, and she's kindly welcomed us into her home and served us lunch. Now, that day when we met her, we'd heard from many people in her community of Koki, stories of how she'd supported them and mentored them over their lives, especially for women in microfinancing groups and for adult men and women in adult literacy programs. Now, Kumba herself had only a primary school education, but she'd successfully built up and grown a fabric trading business, and she now holds a senior position in a national body governing water and the environment in Senegal. We asked Kumba what advice she would share with people everywhere in the world. And this was translated to us from her native language of Wolof. And she said in Wolof, "Yay woo, yay woo, yay woo," which translated into English means awake, awake, awake. Now for me, that is an urgent reminder for me to look at what I can be responsible for as a global citizen. For me to wake up, shine, and give others permission to do the same. Working together collectively and recognising the importance of gender equality is something we can all take responsibility for. We can all start doing it here in our work at HLB, back in our homes with our families, and in our communities. We can all press for progress on gender parity. Yay woo!
Thank you, Charlotte, and thank you everyone for coming today. We've got such a great turnout. It's so positive for the firm. So as we know, in 2018, the theme for International Women's Day is to press for progress. So what did we do in 2017? So for those of you that attended the International Women's Day morning tea last year would remember that the theme for 2017 was to be bold. Being bold in taking action for change, being bold in seeking new opportunities, being bold in implementing policies to encourage inclusiveness and diversity. In 2017, as a firm, we had many wins and successes. As most of you know, the firm is running an Embrun program for courageous leaders and courageous women. As part of the program, the ladies meet on a fortnightly basis to discuss the module content and the wins and successes they've had. I will be running through a number of the wins that we've had this year, but I do want to mention that outside of the Embrun group, there have been many wins and successes that have also been just as great. Firstly, there have been an increased number of women representing the firm in external events. For example, in the BAS Twilight events, we had Georgina present 2 weeks ago, and in the upcoming series, we have Maria, Melissa, Cindy, and Kat. Lauren presented on tax to the multinationals group, and she continues to be the expert on international tax. Melinda in wealth management has presented on super changes on numerous occasions. Donna in tax presented to Westpac on trusts. Lindsay and I presented on financial management for successful women in business. Audrey, Maria, Charlotte, and Lindsay presented to the Australian Nanny Association. And Helena published in the magazine for the Tax Institute. We've also had 15 female leaders go through the Embrun Courageous Women program, and we've had 12 partners and 2 directors that are undergoing or have completed the leadership program. We're very lucky at HLB to have a great support network, and particularly are really appreciative of the sponsors that are going through the Embrun program. My sounding board continues to be a success for the firm and for the aspiring female leaders at HLB. With the support from Mariana and Kim, we've recently collaborated with Business Women Australia and continue to do some great work with them. My sounding board had a successful Twilight event in August last year with approximately 100 attendees, and we've also redefined the program to My Sounding Board Essentials and My Sounding Board Fundamentals. Another win for us has been our strong offshoring team, which is predominantly female, and also our HR team. Leanne, Georgina, Sarah, and Amita but continue to implement policies to make the firm more flexible with working from home arrangements and flexible working hours. Now, these are only some of the tangible wins that we've had. The ladies of the NROM program have also said that they've seen a changing trend with the behaviour of management, partners and directors in terms of inclusion of all staff, not just based on gender, but on all levels. Now, despite all these great achievements as a firm, there is still more work to do. Whilst 2017 has seen many successes, as a firm we should work together to collaborate and work as a community to press for even more progress in 2018. Everyone in this room can play a role in pressing for more progress. For example, we can actively seek to engage in informal conversations with team members to see how they're progressing, provide feedback and coaching when possible. We should be open to greater flexible working arrangements.
Yep.
Thanks for that. Increased involvement with completion of programs such as NBRN. And if you know that team members are going through NBRN, speaking to them about what are their learnings and key takeaways. We should be encouraging diversity and collaboration within our team. Encouraging young leaders to take opportunities and risks. Identifying opportunities for ourselves and our team members to work on projects outside of our normal work and take on additional responsibilities. So Charlotte and I leave you all with a key challenge today. What will you do to press for progress in 2018? Thank you.
Okay, well, I think you can see from that we've got a lot to be proud of with our women at HLB Mann Judd, and perhaps another round of applause for you. Brian, I mentioned the NBRN program and the program the partners and directors went through, and so I was one of those ones. And it's the program is actually about diversity and inclusion, and I think it's structured to make sure sort of the that, you know, to have a successful team, I guess, and you can see this on the website, to have a successful team is made up of unique individuals. So it's not just women, not just men, but actually different types. And so it's encouraging, and I guess it's part of changing the mindset and the stereotypes. Instead of trying to find a mini Tony Fitler or a mini me when you're recruiting, but trying to have a look at, okay, can this person actually add to the range of talent that we have at HLB Mann Judd? And again, particularly that's where women have different strengths and skills, much more organised than men as a general rule. You know, smarter, Mariana keeps telling me. But I think it's sort of, you know, it's trying to use those skills, and I think that's where, and one of the things is that the guys are probably more typically confident, and I think sort of one of the things that we do encourage, and I'm pleased to see all the public speaking, because I think that is a way of getting out there and presenting yourself. And I'd say also in client meetings, you know, if you're looking after a client, don't let the partner do all the talking, you run part of the show. Because I think sort of it's important really for development, because really, you know, as you're coming through a chartered accounting firm, it's continual growth, I guess, and it's that client relationship and being able to speak confidently with clients that becomes important, increasingly important as you go through. So I encourage you, don't hold back. The natural temptation might be to hold back, but you can just, you know, just be quietly, you know, hijack the agenda, tell the partner beforehand or the manager, but I encourage you to go that way. But I think it's been a great program. It's great to see that all the women do it. Thank you very much for coming. We've got some flowers here later on, which is probably a very traditional thing, but I just want to thank everyone for coming, and we'll speak to you later. Cheers.